All right, there's the intro today. Welcome to the final day of 2024. We're gonna do everything messed up today. That's okay. Had a little delay there getting everything set up with OC on the other end. And then of course I have audio problems, but hey, it happens, guys. It's 2024. It's December 31st. We're gonna end this year on a high note right here. Markets pumping, getting some green. You can see right there on my chart, right there. We are coming into a resistance of the 3D trend, but it's going to be all good. OC, let's go ahead and bring him up here. Let's just keep rolling with the punches like we do here on the Piper Academy Network. What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I mean, if you guys have following up with the classes on the Chart Prime side, you'll know that my PC setup was losing itself. Like every single time that I tried to, make a little bit of a screen share, seems like I had a RAM malfunction in the PC right here next to me. So this one, it is already, out of the picture. And now I'm using my backup setup here, which doesn't have an NVIDIA setup. So you'll see that I'm back in space, but well, one does what it needs to do, right? Sometimes you got to do what you need to
Absolutely,
do.
absolutely.
Other than that,
So shout
it's
out to
great.
good. Shout out to Retro Mike Tech. He said you can't always be perfect like the nightcap. A nightcap is perfect. The production of the nightcap, not so much always perfect. So shout out to Little Fish. Shout out to Buck. BC Port Corp. Harp is in the house with us. Of course, Retro Mike Tech, man. I'm glad to have you here. Alexander G. Our mod queen is in the house. Ada Ace is in here. Guys, Ada Ace. Ada Ace is going to be a guest on Friday. He's going to come on and talk a little bit about Hydro Drip. I've already told him, keep it down on the education level. People don't understand the entire Cardano ecosystem like it flows through their veins. I pretty much think that if you cut Ada Ace and you put his blood under a microscope, it's actually just a whole lot of little Cardano logos floating through his veins. So there's like red blood cells, white blood cells. Hey, is that Ada? That's what it would be in his bloodstream. So he's going to come on and talk about Hydro Drip on Friday, and then Friday we're also going to do the giveaway. So on Friday we're going to do the NFT book giveaway for Billy Goat Tales book 1 through 10. So all that's going to take place on Friday. Got to get all that data together, but we will get all of that. Let me adjust myself just a little. There we go. So yeah, 8 Ace on going to be coming on Friday. We got Robert Mulligan in here. He said, last good morning of the year. Last good morning of the year to you too. I will see everybody here next year. You're going to get that dad joke at the end of the show. I promise you. We got UJ5K saying good morning in the chat with us right now. Crypto Coin Mindset. If you guys don't follow him, give him a follow. OC guys in there, BC Port Corp. I think I said him, Average Crypto Joe, and then yesterday's winner of the Book One NFT that we gave away, Brokoshi no Dinero. You have some dinero now. You have at least 25 Cardano worth of an NFT. So I know for a fact you are no longer no dinero. So let's go ahead and get into the news today, OC. I got a lot to break down. We got economic data that I got to talk about because yesterday we talked about, it was actually the question that Brokoshi no Dinero answered to get his NFT. And we talked about Chicago PMI, and I did not even process it at the time of that I asked the question. I was like, tell me what this is. Tell me what this number came in at. And they gave it to me in the chat. And then, I go over and I look at it later and I'm like, oh, that's really not good. Like yesterday, Chicago PMI was really bad, guys. And so we'll talk about that a little bit. But we do have a poll up right now. It said, will Bitcoin close the month green? Currently right now, 69%. Nope, actually, it is 64% said no, and I have to agree because this would be the first time that we haven't had one in a halving year. So yesterday I was on scrolling on Crypto X like one does, and who was it? Cryptos R Us, George. He posted a post on X and said, for quarter one, post halving years are always green, and like was hopium moon boy style stuff, which you won't get here at the Piper Academy. We keep it real, sir. I replied back on his post and said, well, every December and halving year has always been green, so what's your point? And I posted a picture of it up with its red month. So yeah, I'm gonna be curious to see how that plays out. You know me, I'll shoot rounds across the across the bow all the time. So let's go get into the news. Motley Crue cover band fun. What? Average Crypto Joe, what are you talking about? Yeah, okay. I don't know. Yeah, I think 2025 is going to have a rough quarter one also. BC Port Corp. Andy S, shout out to you. Thanks for the daily streams and the hard work. 2025 will be epic. You know why it will be epic? Because our community is epic. That's why. All right, to the news, guys. Let's jump over there and let's get into this. Looking at the news right now, guys, I'm going to give this a refresh because I don't know that that's completely on, and it looks like I need to mask myself. There's a mask. Cool. Mask up. That's what that took away that line over there, just so you know. 3.43 trillion dollars. We're up 0.25% on the market cap today for all crypto, guys. The trade volume up. We like to see this. This is green, we like to see this green too. Bitcoin dominance. I don't know that that's correct, but we'll take a look at it here in a bit. It says 54.5 right now. Let's jump over to X and take a look at that. See what's going on in the world of bookmarks. There we go. X marks the spot, guys. Bitcoin currently dominance is 56.7% according to this. The fear and greed index is sitting at 49, neutral. A little pullback on that, along with the price that pulled back yesterday. Yesterday it was at 50, so we're pulling back even more. People are still scared, right? With good reason. They should be. If they have a lot of money invested, you don't like to see it disappear. So hopium, we keep it bearish here. That's right, Retro Mike Tech. And then CMC altcoin season index sitting almost at the 50% threshold. We're gonna have Bitcoin rally before we can have an altcoin season, in my opinion. So looking here though, guys, AI virtual and AI 16Z continuing to pump. I actually have a post here on X that I got for you guys, and you guys are going to want to screenshot this. Just go ahead and get this ready to screenshot. I'm going to bring this up, and I'll bring this up again when we have me and OC. Actually, let's do that first, OC. I want to bring this up so these guys can get a snapshot of this. And of course, OC's not even in this picture, but there you go, guys. That is the list. Go ahead and screenshot that. Get your screenshot in. And then that will be what you guys want. This is the virtual protocol ecosystem watch list. So pretty good stuff going on there. Just wanted to bring that to your guys' attention because I think that there's some good selections. You can do some data hunting in there and maybe get in on some of those. What else was there? Let's talk about the shorts and the longs here. The long and the short of the story is people got wrecked. Bitcoin daily insights for December 31st, current price 92,000. We're actually up above that now. Bitcoin, I think, is around 95,000 something. We'll take a look at that in a second. Fear and greed index, not 64, it's 48. So that one's not correct there. But Bitcoin dominance trades, this is what I wanted to talk about. Longs versus short ratio on exchanges. Binance, 67% of the trades are long. 32.9% of the trades are short for Binance. Bybit official, 56.7 versus 43.3. Long versus short in the OKX, 70.8 versus 29.15. Still a lot of bullish people out there in the trade world. So I don't know that this is completely done. Coming to the downside. Coming to the downside, I think we still have the potential for some more sell-off, especially into tonight and tomorrow. We're at some resistance. But I do think that, as we brought up yesterday, there will be a point where the sell-off is done, and I think it's going to be January 2nd. That's what I'm hoping for. So then we'll get another little rally, see how that plays out for us. Why do I think that? Well, the big reason is going to be this. Just looking at the 4-year cycle on these are yearly candles. So one candle equals 1 year. We're going to close one tonight, and it's still going to be green despite the pullback, guys. It's a nice green candle. Year one is typically red. That's the bear market. Okay. Year two, why did I just change that? Go back, thanks. Year two is a green candle. It's the recovery and the consolidation. And then year three is our pump up. Year four, we typically do get a little bit of a higher level. We did back in 2021 from year three. And then we also had massive ones in the 2016 and the 2013. 2019 and 2013. So, 14, 15, that one, 2015. So I am watching for us to have the fourth year here, have a little bit of green. And, but I do think that we are going to see some hard times in quarter 1. So let's go ahead and jump over into those crypto bubbles, talk about the current prices. Yeah, Bitcoin right now at $95,679, up 3.3% on the daily, but we're still down on the weekly, guys. Take a look at the weeklies. Everything's still pretty much red except for BNB. What else here? Pepe, BitGetCoin. Yeah, that's it for the top 20, but let's go check out the prices. Bitcoin's currently at $95,600. Ethereum's at 3,432, up 2.9% there. XRP up 5.2%, getting a good rally, regaining that $210 or $2.10 mark, $210. Next thing you know, I'm going to have FD White making a video about why I'm wrong about my total market cap of XRP. BNB is at $712, up 2.6%. Solana up 4.6%. It's at $197. What else we got here? Cardano, 3% up, not bad. Took 87 cents off the table. Avalanche is up 3.7%. That's pretty good. Chainlink 2.9, Shiba Inu's up 3.5. Any really crazy movers in here? Pepe up 17.1%. That's a pretty good run there. Virtuals Protocol 16.9%, guys. It has moved up 6 spots to number 35. Continuing to rock it up. It's doing really good. What else do we have here? Who would have thought that some freaking crazy AI 16Z and virtuals would just come out of nowhere and just become the AI play of the year? It's pretty crazy to see. Let's take a look here at what we're seeing on the Dow Jones, the S&P, and the NASDAQ futures right now, guys. Actually, these are open right now. The markets are officially open. So let's give this a refresh just to make sure. Yeah, these are no longer futures. Dow Jones is up 0.3% there. S&P up 0.25%, and the NASDAQ up 0.16. Of course, they had some pretty bad pullbacks yesterday and sell-off, so they've got to go up quite a bit higher for this in order for it to matter. The VIX is in the red today, though. Yesterday, this thing hit like 18, 19% to the upside. It was madness, let me tell you. Let's go take a look here at the economy, because yesterday, this is the one I was talking about, Chicago PMI 36.9. There's Precocci No Dinero's answer yesterday. It was expected to be up 42.5, 43, came in at 36.9 points on its calculation. And that's not a good sign at all. Let's look at pending home sales. Pending home sales was up year over year, way up. They're going to be paying more interest rate on that mortgage rate because the 10-year treasury yield keeps pumping up. I'm watching that thing closely, guys. If the 10-year treasury yield breaks 5%, there's going to be some problems with the economy. That's just bottom line. That's how it works. When treasury yields get that, let me rephrase that. Bottom line is, if we hit a 5% treasury yield, people are going to sell out of the markets and they're going to go buy treasury bonds. And so if that happens and treasury yields pump that high, people sell off out of their stocks and crypto. Of course, moon boys won't, and hopium-filled degens that like to ride the entire cycle, hodl diamond hands forever, they won't get out. But if there's a market sell-off, Bitcoin's going down with it, regardless of what the cycle of the year is. So it still follows. They're still tied. So yeah, watch that 10-year treasury yield. Right now, it is pulling back today. We were hitting up pretty high, getting close to that 4.75, and then it pulled back. So we are seeing some pullback on it. That's a good thing heading into the new year. So today, guys, let's see what we have here. Let me put this on 2. I don't like that on 1. There we go. Today we have the Schiller home prices. Yeah, it came in as forecasted, so that's already cooked in. And then year over year home prices 4.2. It came in between the consensus and the forecast, and that's already baked in. So nothing bad there. Watch tomorrow though. Excuse me, not tomorrow. Nope, markets closed tomorrow. Watch for Thursday, January 2nd, initial jobless claims. That's going to be the unemployment claims for the week, and that's going to be one to watch there. So moving over, let's check out this Chicago PMI, because I want to show you guys why this is important on what we were just seeing on that PMI, Chicago PMI that happened yesterday. So this is from November. Let's bring this up here and let's talk about this for a second. Also known as Chicago PMI, it's a Chicago Business Barometer, is what they call this. So it gives a really good azimuth check on how strong is business in a major metropolis like Chicago. You can see here we hit, this was at 40.2. This was the previous level we were at. We hit 36.9 yesterday, or 39.6. 39.6. 36.9. Nope, even worse than I thought. 36.9, okay? Which here's 35.1. So you can say we're probably right in this range here on this barometer, right? You guys see that line there that going across? That line is where we were at. This pink threshold is where if we break below, we typically see recessions. Recession, recession. This is 1970. We broke it, recession. Here we came all the way down from 78.8, broke that 50% line right there. Okay, went into recession. Broke it here, went into recession. Broke it here, went into recession. Broke it here a couple of times. No harm, no foul. But guys, we've been under this thing for quite a while here, and we're now down to levels that we have not seen. Well, we're down lower than what we were in 2021. Okay, which was when we had all of the lockdown and businesses trying to build back up. Okay, not as low as what we were in 2020, but we are getting into recessionary levels here. Technically, we've been in recessionary levels. So that barometer yesterday, big reason for the massive sell-off in the markets yesterday. If you guys are wondering why is everything just bleeding so hard yesterday, that would be why. This right here, because it's taken very seriously in the stock world, the investor world, the business world. So I wanted to talk about that. Why are bond yields signaling trouble ahead? I just talked about this. I'm not going to go too far into this, but it's all about this 10-year treasury yield, guys. We are seeing a pullback on it today. That's one you want to keep an eye on. Jeremy Siegel says market rally will take a pause in 2025 with a chance of a 10% correction rising. Let's jump over here for a second, OC, and let's talk about that. The market's taken a 25% or a 10% correction. What would that look like for Bitcoin if the stock market took a 10% correction? Because, stock market moves 3%, Bitcoin drops 15. That's typically the cycle. What do you think Bitcoin looks like in 2025 when it's supposed to be our most bullish year, right? It's our post-halving year with the stock market taking a 10% correction. What are your thoughts on that, man?
All right, so like trying to for some reason I'm having feedback, really weird feedback.
I'm not
Give
hearing
me
it
one
on my
second.
end.
No, okay. Uh, did I fix it? Yeah, fix it on my end. All right, so as a quick answer to your question, I think that we need to if we see a big correction on stocks, we're gonna see a hell of a correction on Bitcoin, right? That's still within line with the previous correction on the markets or on the cycles. But it kind of like a worrying because if we have that 30-50%, well, 30% correction here and then we start pushing back up, that usually will mean that we are basically at the end of the bull market, or at least on a very big retraction that maybe may not make it again back into the higher highs, right? Basically, same situation that we saw not yesterday, but the previous cycle, right? But here's the thing. Uh, for quite a long time. And we have not seen the actual result of that bear market on stocks, right? I think narrative has been playing out very, very nice. I think they've been playing out their cards very, very nice. I would say that like you were mentioning yesterday, they either start printing again, right? Or we take the correction as it comes. With what? Well, with incentive for people that do have the money to circulate it around, right? To incentive to people that don't have money to get things for cheaper, so on and so forth. So redistribution of that wealth that is out there in the wild. I think. Well, I don't want to mess up today's show, but I think that is in the hands on the new upcoming guy that will get to the office, right? If I can say that, if that is clear, he will have a big job to play it out, and that will absolutely impact on Bitcoin price. On my end, though, I would say that I do expect Bitcoin to perform pretty well. I'm expecting a 20-25% correction at most. But that again, that is hopium, right? That is hopium. 25% correction at most. Narrative plays out on the stock markets. U.S. economy pumps back up because everybody else's economy is also crumbling down. So if we just average down to the lowest to the highest, well, then I think U.S. economy will be come out clean on top, and then we just rinse and repeat, and we'll have an extended cycle within this year, and we are going to be making another higher high.
That is
So
definitely one of our theories, is that extended cycle thing. So very, very
yes,
possible. Yeah.
so yeah,
Shout
I
out to
mean
Jim
that's
Kramer
what
in
I
the
got.
chat. Okay, shout out to Jim Kramer in the chat. We got Jim Kramer in the house with us. So let's talk about this article. I'm reading the article here. I don't want to pull it up yet because I'm going to do a few things to it. But here we go. I'll show it to you guys in a second. But I'm going to read this. So it says for next year, the economic outlook is topic number one, because everyone's been talking recession, recession, recession. Even TA Tim yesterday was talking about recession. Donald Trump actually said depression on a post on X. So for almost all investors, that's topic number one, is the economic outlook for next year. Stock prices and bond yields already reflect recessionary worries. We just talked about that. But an actual downturn would hit portfolios hard. To help get a handle on what to expect, Bloomberg asked 45 forecasters, or 54, I'm sorry, 54 forecasters in our annual outlook survey to talk about everything from the credit crunch, Fed policy, global growth. Out of the 54 economists, do you know how many OC projected that there would be a recession next year? Out of
I have
54,
no idea, but I'm
two,
gonna say like 50. Oh,
two,
two.
two projected that there will be a recession next year. Okay. The economists project on average that the economy will have growth around the fourth quarter of this year going into quarter one of next year. Only two of the forecasters expect a recession, although it might feel like there's sluggish growth over the next couple of quarters. Almost all think that the risk of a downturn it has risen substantially in recent months. So, because with the labor market and this and that, right? Um, as a group, the forecasters say slow growth will lift the jobless rate from 4.7 to 5.1. So they are expecting unemployment to go up. It has shown that in the recent months, right? Uh, so almost all no recession forecasters are predicated on further rate cuts by the Fed. Pay attention here, OC. This is important. By further rate cuts from the Fed. That is all of this no recession, right? The target rate is expected to drop from 4.25 to between 2.5 to 4%. They think that the yield curve will steepen a bit as the 10-year treasuries edge up to 4.5%. Let's talk about this, OC. You know what's so interesting about this article?
What is it? That is, I mean, it's a little bit thinner.
Guys, this was an article from 2007 talking about 2008. So when we talk about all of the stuff that's going on right now, we're matching up with what we've seen. Now, yes, everyone keeps talking about recession. Everyone goes, you can't have that long of a projection of a recession and it without it happening. They've been saying this forever. Guys, they all got it wrong in 2007. So they all started calling it way early because they had it so wrong. Just like the polls for the elections, I guarantee you at the next election, they're going to be a whole lot different on how they call this state and that state on the polls because they had it so wrong. That's why we're hearing everyone say recession, recession, recession way in, because they all got caught with their pants down in 2007. We're seeing a lot of the same stuff in 2007, in 2024 that we saw in 2007. And the naysayers, they've kind of moved over to the other side. That's why there's such a loud voice calling for a recession versus what there was back then. But they got caught with their pants down. And so when we look at this data from 2007 to 2025 or 2024 versus 2008 versus 2025, there's a lot of people there that were talking about recession not going to happen and looked stupid. And now they're saying, hey, okay, we were way off. Next time, we're not going to do that again. And they're calling for a recession in 2025. And we're seeing a lot of that same data when you do this side by side comparison. Definitely is there. So that Chicago PMI. Moral of the story is that Chicago PMI yesterday not very good. I just wanted to bring that article up because I went back and looked at 2007. What were the headlines saying in 2007? And there it is. No recession. That's what they were saying, and they had it very wrong. So. Now let's talk Bitcoin, and I have to agree with Retro Mike Tech. 2008 was a great year. You know who 2008 was a great year for? People that had money. In 2008, people that had money had a great year. We have a whole lot of people that are 100% in. I do plan on taking profits in Q1. If we get any type of push rally, January 1st is my cutoff of not being able to touch my stuff because of tax purposes. That'll all go into the next year's taxes after January 1st. So I do plan on taking some profits to add to my cash, because I do think that sometime in 2025, we're going to have the opportunity to have a great year like 2008. And it's just going to be a matter of who has cash. That's it. So let's go ahead and jump into the Bitcoin chart. Man, I have beaten this dead horse. I won't even get into ghost jobs. It's a whole nother realm that you guys may not know about. There's a thing called ghost jobs out there. Estimation by the article I read yesterday, it's a research group and a labor market research group, said that Alex O Crypto, what's up, gang, dude? They did a look at LinkedIn, Indeed, Zip Recruiter, all those. 60%. And what this calculates is jobs that do not exist, or jobs that have been on the postings and not filled in over 90 days, right? Despite thousands of people applying. You keep hearing people say there's no jobs, and then you go in there and there's all these jobs. Yeah, 60% of all jobs right now, they predict, they assess, they analyzed, they assess that they are ghost jobs, which means that companies are just putting out jobs to test the waters to see what type of pull they would get for that position. 60%. Guys, if you take our labor market numbers and you knock 60% of the jobs off of it, that tells a whole different story. So, but I'm not even going to get into that. That's a thing for a whole nother day, guys. Let's jump into this Bitcoin chart. Let's see what we got here, guys. Looking at Bitcoin right now, we are getting a push up. We got a bounce out of my, well, crap that didn't hold and have moved back into the no shit, hold this level. But guess what? It looks like we're not holding this. We're getting a great rejection right now on the 3D trend tool. We do have a dynamic reactor coming in right there above us. I do think that I think it is possible. It is very possible that we get up into here. We hit the dynamic reactor. We are at the resistance zone, the top of the no shit hold this zone, and then we get another rejection down. I do think that we continue up a little bit, but the reason that I'm calling that level, or at least the point of control, one of these two resistance zones here, that would be dynamic reactor and the fixed range volume profiles point of control, the largest point of volume here in this period. The reason that I'm thinking that we do get a push up to that is because we do have a nice transition line here on the oscillator ribbon, but it has not quite turned green yet. You can see here we had a little pink transition. Oh, sorry. A little pink transition there. The peach color, right? It's doing a transition. We're in a big transition, but look here. We had another one here where it did that long transition up. It was a little bit more linear, a little more horizontal than vertical like this one, but it was only a very short-lived pump up to resistance. And I think that's what we're going to see again. Another one right here went into that transition, came up, had a little bit of a move and then back down again after that. So I do think we are going to get that pullback here, and the 3D trend is definitely showing to be a cloud to be reckoned with on resistance. So that's what I'm seeing there on Bitcoin right now. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to OC and see what he's got, and then we'll come back and take a look at some more charts. I'm going to take a look at the chat. What's up, chat?
Alright, so let's take a look at what we got here. I'm gonna go over a couple of charts that we've been looking at, and this is just to keep a track on all of the possibilities, right? Remember that we traded day by day, and not because I do a projection, I just stick like hard to that projection, right? I'm not marrying that projection. So the first thing that I want to go over, it is one of my oldest projection, which is this one. Just so you know what this is coming from, this is exactly this shape right here, right? And I was telling you the same pattern that I've seen over and over and over on this bull market, right? We have a trend line here, and then we have a little range. We break it, trend line on the range and break it, so on and so forth. So if I start making that projection based on where it broke out, well, then I was expecting it actually to be a little bit farther down to the right. Let me just show you something like that, but that will put the bottom somewhere around the, I don't know, 31st of January, so 1 month forward, and I don't think that that's gonna be correct. What I really think that it's gonna be going on, it is this month, just basically closing it as we are seeing it right now, and having a little bit of a pump. And by the way, I was one of those guys that said, yes, we're going to close a year in green. So hopefully we do. But still, we're going to have a retracement back on January. January, maybe the 5th, January the 7th, somewhere around those dates, right? But again,
Well,
this is speculation based on things.
just so
Yep.
you know, we're about a 50-50 right now. It's 49% versus 51%. So we'll
Oh,
see. We'll
man.
see.
Push it, Bitcoin. Come on. I should have opened up a bet on that one. So, nonetheless, I am expecting a pullback right down to somewhere around 89, 90,000, right? So nothing too big, actually. I know it feels like forever, but I mean, it's not that big of a deal. And then a back and forth, back and forth, back and forth to then break up. I don't expect it to take as long as we did before. I do actually expect it to break somewhere around here or even somewhere around here. That will put us somewhere around February the 14th or April the 9th, right? Somewhere around those dates. Again, not too precise on timing. We'll need to see how it plays out. And why is that? Because I'm betting on a extended cycle, right? So we need that extended ranges to then claim higher highs over time. So that's the first thing that I'm looking at here. Let's go very quick to the rest of those, because again, they're not that important. They just kind of like revisit the same levels but in a different perspective, right? Once again, right here I am projecting, or I was projecting, a bounce. Why? Because we have an order block and also we have a liquidity zone, the same thing that we were looking at yesterday. So let me see if I can bring it up. There we go, liquidity zone right there. So I am expecting to bounce up. Also, remember that I was expecting a flip of the ribbon at this point with a double bottom, and seems like we might get it, right? We might have it. So push it, Bitcoin. Please push it. Don't let me look bad in the live session today. So other than that, that's what I got. Nothing that big of a deal, but we need to keep an eye on the dynamic reactor. Dynamic reactor is going to be the next area to look at. Let's not let's focus on the 4 hour. The 4 hour, we are bearish. All right, we are bearish. Daily is just a correction, but we could be looking at a something like a 23% correction. Remember the 25% correction that I was telling you guys? This is where it is getting from, right? From the dynamic reactor, coming in strong after a big retraction, right? Getting ready for the next cycle to burst to the upside. If it's bigger, if it's something like around 75, I think the bull market will be over. And at this point, we're going to be looking for shorting the next upcoming movement. But again, we're not there yet. Let's not growl like the bear beforehand unless we start losing those areas right there. Other than that, everything looking fantastic. And I want to bring up another coin that I gave the entry yesterday. But let's just wait around and see, Piper, what do you got for us?
I'm watching Bitcoin pull back right now off the 3D trend cloud. So there you go. Shout out to Crux and Crypto in the chat right now. What's up, Crux? How you doing, bro? Good to see you in here. Jesse Galucky. he's always going to be, it's Gluck, but it's going to be Jesse Galucky from now on. That dude is so lucky. I'm just saying, he has some great calls. Who else we got in here that's joining us? Dave Digital, Chris Klein's in here. DD, hello again. Dave Digital, that's who he's talking about there. We've got the Otter Gang in the house with us, so I appreciate Alex O and the entire Otter Gang. Shout out to you guys. You guys rock. Thanks for joining us here. Let's go and check out some altcoins. I want to take a look here at what's going on with virtuals. I'm going to go pull this chart out. Give me a second. I'm going to kick it over to you. I'm going to pull up virtuals. You can go ahead and take a look at the chart, at the asset you want to take a look at. We got about 20 minutes, so we got plenty of time to get through some of these. Let's go into F your trend cloud serve buck. Bucket's coming, dude. Alex Fernandez said it's coming at the beginning of the year, so we will see. OC, go for it, man.
Oh man, really quick. This thing, I don't know what the freak is this thing huge that FARTCOIN. Oh my god, it just appeared and it is just ripping. All right. So it just appeared, guys. I think it will be worth it to take a look at it. It's just like out of nowhere. But something that we were talking about yesterday, remember AI 16C? Remember I told you guys that I was looking to get into a long. I did, by the way. I did broke one of my rules. I was waiting for a retest, right? Nonetheless, I longed the breakout closing candle, right? And I know it was a little bit on late, but the movement was just freakishly fast, right? Remember that we were right here waiting for the next candle to break. And man, oh, that it broke, right? So broken here. I waited for the candle to close, right? At least I need to follow some rules. And then I open up a trade right here. So went up, went back down for the retest, and then it's up again. Just so you know, at the end of this class, I'm going to be moving my stop to entry, and then that's it. Since this is an AI coin and I'm not pushing too much into it, this is a 10x leverage trade. Mexi, by the way, not financial advice, and also we are not associated to Mexi. Just so you know where I'm trading it. Well then that's when I'm gonna be trying to get the most out of it. And if I come back down and just end up in $1 of gain, why? Because when I do my stop loss back to entry, I push it just a little bit above to compensate for a fee, right? So if I just ended up with $1 of gains, guys, that is one more dollar in my pocket, right? But other than that, I'm gonna be risking it all because I do see that money flow staying up in here. Yes, we have a bearish divergence. But that bearish divergence, I will say that I mean it will be taking over by this possible flip of the ribbon. Or if we take a look at the classical view, I would say that we could be looking at a duck head in there or a goose head. Let me see if that is the case. I need to take a look at the old shape. And yeah, it kind of like it looks like a pretty, like a little bit of an ugly dog there, right? Or ugly goose. So if that goose works for anything, I think we're gonna have the next pump. You know that I'm looking at 1.96 for my first taking profits. But remember, I'm moving my stop to entry right away. So boom shakalaka, I would say we nailed this one. Of course, that it could have been a fantastic trade if I would have entered here. But again, we need to follow at least some rules, right? So this was my rule: breakout, retest, or breakout closer to candle, and then entry if I see the proper parameters in here. So far, I've been playing out. We were a couple of minutes ago to 17 or 18% gains at 10x. That is a 180% gain. So not bad. Not bad at all. Turning it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. Yeah. Shout out to who was it that just said that? Was RS Miller? Did RS Miller say that? No, it was not. It was Brian D. Brian D said, I fear too much financial unrest in the coming year. I mean, a tweet can taint the markets right now. You are not wrong, bro. The current market situation for stock side, just the stock side, they're like 18x to 22 times greater than their earning calls for their valuation. So it's the P&E is just way off the charts on almost everything right now. So you are right. The simplest thing can do a massive pullback on the stocks. I also wanted to talk real fast about MicroStrategy before I jump into virtual protocol. MicroStrategy, if you guys don't know, that 45% pullback since its top. Last cycle, MicroStrategy has experienced about a 50% pullback before Bitcoin's pullback. Just so you know, it front ran Bitcoin's top, MicroStrategy's top, front ran Bitcoin's top by about 9 months. Signs, who knows, but definitely another thing to keep on your radar there. 9 months from that top on MicroStrategies would put Bitcoin's topping coming in right around the end of Q1 also. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. And that's in relation to Brian D's comment about uncertainty for the next year. There's all kinds of red flags going on around us. Let's jump over and take a look at virtuals here and take. I went ahead and threw a trend-based fib on here for you guys. It's basically pulling from 3 points, because we had a trend change here. This was running kind of flat here. We had some higher highs, higher lows. We had a bottoming out here right before we pumped up, got our pullback, and then got a bounce right there on the 3D trend cloud. That would be your trend-based fib. And now if we take a look at what these are, let me get rid of that white mark. Can you get rid of brush mark? Thanks. You can see what we had here is a nice bounce into the 3D trend cloud again. Had a check here on the golden pocket, said I'm good. The 1-to-1 line here, nice rejection, pullback, retest of the platinum pocket. That's your 786 to your 887 on the fibs here. And you can see we had good support there on that platinum pocket, except for the one breakout. This outlier came down a little bit below the golden pocket, but it was a golden pocket bounce nonetheless. It did pump up into the negative, the bearish 3D trend cloud, pulled back down for another test here, slight breakout below that platinum pocket. So sequencing on the Fibonacci's here look really clean, up to the 1382, down to the 1.236 here. That's going to be your 236 on an extension. Basically, it's just a repeat of our previous fib cycle. There's fib cycle 1, phase 1. Phase 2, that's your base fib, and then this is your extension, right? And so what we're seeing here is really nice rejection on the golden pocket, bounce on the 50. Nice rejection on the platinum pocket, bounce on the 50. Now we're back up to the platinum pocket. Guys, this has got to be one of the healthiest looking charts that I've seen in a while when it looks at price structure and how it's playing out. We can also see here that if we are to continue up, golden pocket, if we break this next phase, so if we break this 2 line, this is going to be your second phase 1-to-1. If we break this, we would be heading to at least the golden pocket for its next level. And that's going to be, just to look at the move from here, I may just have to go throw like a nice little trade on it, because 27% is no joke for a move for that next level up. And it's been respecting these levels pretty decently. Taking a look at the Oscillator Pro on here, we are in a transition back up to green. So even with all this, you guys can see this has been doing very healthy cool offs on the oscillator. Take a look at the RSI though, the heat map on the RSI. Guys, all the way up here, we've been rejecting right there on that daily Bollinger Band. But every time it cools back, we've been getting back down below that 50% line here and getting nice cool offs in green every single bounce here. So this thing is not staying overheated. It's got really healthy pullbacks, very clean looking resets on the oscillators. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go hunt this one down, man. I'm gonna have to hunt it down, OC. Virtuals, very bullish on virtuals chart at least right now. So, not bad at all. What do we have there? Phantom. Don't miss out on the big bull run for the fantastic buy price. That's from hashtag more money. Hashtag mo money, mo problems. If you know, you know. Jimmy, hi there. Jimmy Bones is in the house. What's up, Jimmy Bones? How you doing, man? Thanks for joining us. OC, I've got to look at the heat map here because I have not looked at it today. And I think that we should. So I'm going to come over here. I need to get you in here because you are not in this at all. Let me throw OC in here with us. Let me throw the OC guy in here with us because he's not with us. There we go. OC, welcome. I got to make you smaller though. You're very small here on this one because you don't have a blacked out background. So there we go. We'll put you in there. You're in. You're in like Flynn. Okay, let's check this out, guys. This is the 24-hour. We are showing a heat map up about $97,000 top. 48-hour. Not much there. We do have a little bit of a heat map above us, about $50 million there total. But when we start looking at these higher time frames, Yesterday, I talked about that rally up to 96,000. You guys remember that? There was a 100,000. We did close out the $96,000 one. 97.6 is the next one above us. Our hottest map on here on the weekly, hottest zone is $100,000 Bitcoin. Now, there is a decent cluster down here of that medium temperature, but that hot temperature, that yellow line, is coming in right at $100,000. I think that we might try to make a run up there. I don't think it's going to be today. I think it's going to be January 2nd, but there is a level up there. But as far as reasons to go up there, if we take a look here, I talked about this yesterday morning with you guys. You get all this alpha every day. Yesterday morning, we talked about the Bitcoin CME gap because we had one from last Friday. Let's go over there and pull that up just to show you. We were down here yesterday morning, we're down here, and I said, guys, there is a CME gap coming in off of the Friday close, which is right here, and we were opening down here. And I said, we do have a CME gap here. We've closed that CME gap. It closed yesterday. That little rally we got up closed the CME gap. We pulled back down, and now we're rallying up again. There's no more CME gaps up there to pull us up there. So the only reason for price to move up to that range is going to be because they're going up to grab liquidity. Market makers want all of that short liquidity. And we talked about that here on the amount of liquidity that was sitting in shorts right here. I've got an article about this. Let me find it. Nope, that is not it. I think it's this one, maybe. Is this the one? This might be the one. Let me look at this article here. Local top, 120,000. This is the one saying for $120,000 Bitcoin coming in January. But one of these I was looking at this morning, that's about the countries getting into it. Maybe I didn't save that one. What they were talking about was there's like $1.25 billion in liquidity that will get wrecked if we break the $96,000 mark because of all the shorts that are sitting up there. And we talked about those number of shorts this morning. I'll keep looking for that article, but guys, right now we're at a crossroads with Bitcoin. We're at critical support and critical resistance, and market makers can really make money in either direction. There's a lot more percentage of longs opened up right now versus shorts, but there's much more money in the shorts that are opened up right now. So looking at the number of trades versus the amount, $1.25 billion to head up to $100,000 and pull back down. That's a lot of money for market makers to grab before they take us a little bit lower. I do think that we are going to get an upside move in January. That is all based off of what we talked about yesterday. That would be the Eric Wallen chart. Let's jump over and talk about that, because if you weren't here yesterday, we were talking about this level here. This is from the halving date each cycle. We have typically we start here in about the 241 days after the halving cycle before we pull back down, and then we start to come back up. And that's coming right here about 3 days from now at this point. 3 days from now, if you guys don't know, would be January 2nd. It would be the first trading day of the new year of 2025 because markets are closed tomorrow, the first. The second would be the closeout on that. So the CME closed early today. I think they probably do. I don't think they do. I don't think they close early today. I think they have a full day today on the markets. They're not going to be open tomorrow. So Tuesday, we'll have another CME gap. We'll see what that one looks like. Hopefully, the markets close higher today, creates a CME gap. A little bit of sell-off there over the first, creates a CME gap to the upside, and then we go up there and start that rally on the second. So that's what I'm thinking happens there with Bitcoin. Of course, it's anyone's guess. I'm not going to sit here and fill your brains with, hopium or perma bear. I'm a realist, and I just give you guys the data and tell you guys the likelihoods, possibilities, and odds. Right now, 50-50 crossroads, in my opinion. Matter of fact, speaking of 50-50 crossroads, let's go take a look at that poll. I want to see what it's looking like. It is still at 49% versus 51%. There has been 45 votes. So, do you think that Bitcoin will close December green? That is the question, right? So, to show you guys what we typically do in December, I will bring this up here. That is not the one. I've got too many tabs here, bro. Too many tabs. Um, that's that one. That's that one. Is this? There we go. Let's jump over here, OC, and let's take a look at this. So yeah, here we are currently. Let me refresh this, guys. We have the rest of today until this evening for the monthly candle to close, the yearly candle to close, and the daily candle to close. This evening, all three of that happens. Right now, we are down 0.6%, less than 1% to the downside in the red. But the reason that that matters is that historically, in a halving year, let's go back 2020, 47% was the upside move there. Let's go back to 2016. That was a 30% December. So that was the question. Will we end up red for this month or will we be green? This would be the first cycle that December saw a red month in a halving year. So keep that in mind. OC, what are you watching on altcoins there? What do you got to take a look at? We'll jump over to your chart and take a look.
Oh man, I've just been seeing FARTCOIN popping up and down. I mean, on and off, on and off, on and off. Dude, I just had to take a look at it. And I just did. Man, somebody got a stocking here. And I would say that this FARTCOIN is one of those ones that you say, you
The
know
big
what? I
reason
might
that
be
you
part
keep
of it.
seeing the big reason you keep seeing it going on and off is because crypto bubbles separates it by 100. So it's moving from the 101 to the 100, the 101 to the 100 on the market cap. So yeah, it's pretty funny to see it when it does that, when it's right at that cusp, because you'll see this big bubble appear and then it goes away, and it's because it's moving up that market cap. So there you go.
Absolutely, yes. And look at this. I mean, come on, I might be even interesting to do some FARTCOIN this new year. I don't know. I mean, we've been spot on in this bear market with a couple of bull calls. I know they haven't been that many, but again, we need to trade what the market gave us, right? At this point, we can see a steady moving downwards here with a trend line, and also a steady moving downwards here with another trend line. So basically, a downwards wedge, right? So what happened here? Well, we have a clean breakout and something important, and I don't have it right here. Let me just add it for you guys. Let me see if I can find it. There we go, a horizontal line. And then right click, I'm gonna be clicking also gear icon and then putting a zero. I'm playing here my zero line. Look at that oscillator ribbon. We had a bullish divergence. We have a bounce out of the dynamic reactor. We have a bounce out of the trend line, right? And we're pushing almost through the zero line on the oscillator. Something important to note, look at that money flow turning from red to green. This is going to be important. And then do we have any references? Well, we have a very nice resistance at the top here and a very nice support at the bottom. So at this point, since this is pushing upwards, we're still meh, right? I mean, is it going to bounce? Is it going to continue? Well, we need more information. So let's continue here with my indicators, and my very first indicator that is pushing some useful information or like right away information. It is my predictive ranges. So these predictive ranges, we are hitting a resistance lining here, which most likely is going to impact on a retracement before we head up in here, which is going to be expected, right? Then I have a secondary configuration of my predictive ranges. And look at that. We almost hit it, right? In a retracement, it is expected. So are we going to have maybe that retracement? I will say maybe a 1-2 candle retracement, maybe the opportunity for you to jump in if you're looking for that, not financial advice, and then a push through it. I don't even know where to trade this. Let me just take a look at here. All right, Mexi. Seems like I do have Mexi, KuCoin, and what is it? Gate IO. So I guess I'm going to be trading this on Mexi. I'm going to be looking for a FARTCOIN. Again, it is not a financial advice. I will only be trading this as a retracement and a breakthrough that zero line in here. Is it going to be risky? Absolutely. Because if Bitcoin keeps like falling down or retracing or rejecting, most likely we're going to have a flop and then maybe go find something below the dynamic reactor. So just so you guys know, I think I'm a little bit degen today since yesterday, since we hit the AI call. And I'm looking to a little bit more risky entries. This FARTCOIN kind of like piqued my attention. because of that. Like as Piper mentioned, going back and forth from its market capitalization, right? There's a huge bubble just appearing and disappearing. So is it calling for a breakout? Absolutely. I just want to see this candle closing in the green. That's what I'm looking at now. I also have Turbo lined up, but we're running out of time. Let me throw it back to you, Piper.
Yeah, we are at the bottom of the hour. Deck, is it Deck? I believe it's Deck, DECH. If I've said that wrong, man, I'm sorry, man. You're always in here, and I'm sorry. I've never heard your name. Detch or Deck? I don't know. But he said sequel to FARTCOIN is Butthole Coin. So it's gaining traction on Radium and Soul communities. So we'll have to take a look at that one tomorrow, OC. We are going to be live tomorrow. Are you partying tonight, OC? Are you partying tonight for New Year's?
I wish. I'm pretty freaking bad. Just so you know, guys, that thing over there, it's a sofa that I've been having like headaches and how do you call it when you have high temperature? So because of
Fever?
the flu, yeah, fever. I having fever. So man, it's been rough. So am I gonna be with family? Absolutely. I'm not gonna be partying, but absolutely, you can count with me if you want to come live in here. We could maybe take a look at those. What was it? Butthole.
Well, I'm not going to do it
Dude,
tonight.
man.
I'm not going to. I probably won't do it tonight. You never know. I might do something crazy. I might go on with LBC tonight. Who knows? But actually, LBC's not on tonight either. So I don't know. Maybe I will. I don't know. But I was checking about tomorrow morning. But tomorrow morning, we definitely need to get on and check out Butthole. So I need to check your butthole. We need to be crypto proctologist, and we're going to check out your butthole tomorrow. So, guys, we appreciate everyone joining us here today. If you haven't done so yet, smash that like button and share this with a friend, because sharing is caring, guys. We're trying to grow here. We're closing in. We're getting up there on the numbers. We're at, I think, like 6,750 right now. So we're trying to get to 7,000 subscribers. You guys can help us by doing that. Believe it or not, a bunch of our viewers do not subscribe to this channel, and we would appreciate it if you did. We don't ask for much. It's free. It doesn't cost anything, and it helps us out immensely. So, guys, we will be back next year. I'm going to take the rest of the year off because I've made so much money this year, and I'm going to be back next year. I'm going to take the rest of the year off. OC, to the whole team, after your shows today, take the rest of the year off, and we'll be back next year for everybody. So there's your dad joke for the day. But guys, I appreciate everyone that's here right now, and I appreciate everyone in the community that shows us love daily and comes here and listens to some old crusty crypto veterans that just like to keep it real and tell it like it is, man. Guys, we will see you guys next show tomorrow morning. But be back here with all that stuff. Don't forget Trade Intuition. We'll be doing Trade Academy today. I don't know if there's going to be a crypto nightcap show tonight. I know there's not going to be a Markets After Dark show. So we'll see. We'll see, guys, what the rest of the day brings. But just watch those levels right now. Bitcoin is currently still fighting that rejection. One last look at the Bitcoin chart there. Still fighting that rejection on that 3D trend cloud. So I'm watching it closely today. I'm going to set me an alert if it breaks up into that. I will definitely post it on X and in the Discord for everybody that we've broken the 3D trend cloud. We've been underneath this thing since December 19th. So getting above that would be a very, very big move, and it would make me very bullish on the rest of January coming in. Till tomorrow, guys, thank you guys for being here. You guys take care. If you're going to trade today, remember, use some risk management, trade safe, and we'll catch everybody right back here tomorrow on the Piper Academy Network for a 2025 kickoff. You guys have a great day. Happy New Year's. I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling up the wheels flow low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul, train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti, yo. Crunch crypto with a deep dive to reject dime. And if you like the visual powered by Chart Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause
Cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall low. Sound off.
To get rhythm, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean?
That was awesome, dude.